Today we have the Canon EOS R5 with us. Hello and welcome to our channel. Today we have the Canon EOS R5 with us. This particular camera is one of the high-end cameras from Canon and it is a highly anticipated camera as well. This camera is the 5D of the mirrorless cameras from Canon and it is an amazing camera for lots of the features that it offers. This is a proper high-end camera serving the commercial clients. We'll be looking how good this camera is if you're planning or thinking about this camera for your photographic requirements. In this video, we will be looking at the technical specifications. Then we will share our experiences, how we felt using this camera on field where we tried different genres of photography. We tried multiple RF as well as EF lenses. We will share how good it performs in different situations. Stay with us till the end of the video to know if this camera is the right equipment for your kind of photography. Being a high-end camera, the technical specification of this camera is quite impressive. The few highlight features for photography are, this particular camera comes with a full frame sensor. This is a newly developed sensor with total of 47.1 megapixels. The effective megapixel for a photograph would be 45 megapixels. ISO range on this camera is from 100 ISO to a maximum of 51,200 ISO. The ISO can be expanded in both directions, so it can be lowered as well as increased by one stop. It has a metering sensor that has 384 zones. This camera has an impressive autofocus system which consists of 1053 autofocus areas and a total of 59,040 AF points. If you want, you can choose from one of the 9 AF zones that we have on this camera. This camera is rated for an image stabilization of up to 8 stops with compatible lenses. Your mileage with image stabilization though is going to change depending on the lenses and the scene where you're shooting. If you intend to do any wildlife, sports or bird photography, this camera offers a high continuous shooting speed of 20 fps on electronic shutter or 12 fps with the mechanical shutter. This camera features an electronic viewfinder or a EVF which is half-inch in size and it features 5.76 million dots. The LCD screen at the back is touchscreen and it is 3.15 inches and features 2.1 million dots. This camera can save RAW files in either 12-bit, 13-bit or the uncompressed 14-bit file format. The JPEGs on this one can be saved in 10-bit HEIF, that is high efficiency image file codec. This camera features dual card, one of which is a SD card whereas the other one is a CF Express card. This camera uses the LP-E6NH battery. This battery is of the same format as 5D series cameras or the 80D or the 90D cameras. This battery though is a bit higher in capacity. This camera also features a small display on top of the camera to show the settings. For a full frame camera, it is fairly light at about 650 grams without the memory card and the battery though. When we add the battery and the memory card, it weighs about 738 grams. After using the camera for about a week, we are now going to share our experiences based on the different situations where we use this camera. The highlight feature of this camera definitely has to be the high resolution image sensor it has. The 45 megapixels give us lots of room for making a decent size print, as well as in case if you need to crop in a picture, definitely with a good quality lens used, it gives enough resolution to crop in the picture and still retain a high quality image. We use the camera along with different RF lenses and one of the EF lens. We found that when we use this camera with a sharp lens, definitely the final image quality is quite high and the images are nice and sharp. With controlled settings, that is, if we control the white balance either by custom white balance or maybe say by setting a Kelvin color temperature, we can get a desired result. In order to get the raw output of this particular camera, we tested it most of the time on auto white balance and we found that the colors were quite accurate and the saturation was quite good as well. The ISO performance of this camera is quite decent. It is not that great, but of course, with any high resolution camera, ISO performance is going to be affected. What we found was, in daytime with bright light, the ISO performance was good and we did not notice any noise. But as it got cloudy while shooting birds, we noticed that the camera generated some noise. At night time, it was a different situation. Even at 200 or 400 ISO, we did notice visible noise. What is nice though is, even if there is noise, the amount of chromatic noise that the camera produces is to a minimum. So only when you zoom the pictures at 100%, only then will you notice any chromatic noise. While shooting long exposures, we did notice few hot pixels. In our experience, in the conditions where we took the pictures, we found the dynamic range of the camera to be decent. Images that we took of high contrast scene, we found the camera to retain the details either in the highlights or the shadows depending on the exposure settings. What is great though is this particular camera has a great exposure latitude. What that means is it gives you lots of control over exposure in post-processing. What was amazing was this camera is able to recover lots of details even from the highlights, something that previous generation cameras were not able to do. When used with a RF lens, even the low light pictures gave us pretty sharp images. And definitely the image stabilization of this camera, the first in-body image stabilization a Canon has, that is really great. The camera is of decent size and we find the grip of this camera to be very comfortable. The camera is solid and feels amazing in hand. The button placement of this camera is quite different from the Canon DSLRs. So, if you are upgrading from a semi-pro or a full frame, that is a 5D series cameras, you will find the button placement to be slightly different. What is standard though is the button placement of all the EOS R series cameras is quite similar. So, if you are switching to this camera from any of the Canon DSLR, you will take some time getting used to. The touchscreen is quite helpful in this though. So if you use the touchscreen along with the other buttons, you will find it easy to change the settings of the camera. Being a 5D user for many years, and still I was a bit confused while handling this camera. Especially, I kept pressing the video record button accidentally in order to change the ISO. So, if you're switching to this camera from any other different type of camera, you'll need some time, maybe say a couple of days to get used to the camera. The electronic viewfinder or the EVF on this camera is really amazing. It is decent size and the brightness and everything that is adjusted on this makes it look really realistic. So even if you are switching to this camera from a DSLR, you will find it look very similar to the optical viewfinder. And I felt no difference in using it. It felt great while taking pictures. The electronic viewfinder really has a high refresh rate, and the best thing is that there is no blackout even when doing continuous shooting. The continuous shooting can be done using mechanical or the electronic shutter, and still there is no blackout in the viewfinder. 3.15 inches touchscreen at the back is decent size and offers good functionality. Because it comes with reinforced glass, it is great against minor scratches. When using the viewfinder, the back screen becomes a trackpad in order to change the AF point or the AF zone. This is really helpful when doing focusing, seeing through the viewfinder and taking pictures with sharp focus on the subject. The mirrorless cameras in general have great autofocusing technology as compared to a DSLR, and the R5 is no different. It is amazing when it comes to autofocusing and the features that this camera offers. In our usage, we found the autofocusing to be good, but still, it is not perfect. What is best about autofocusing in a mirrorless camera is by using a software update, we can definitely improve the autofocusing furthermore. What we noticed while taking pictures was the camera would sometimes not focus on the subject. It would focus either in the front or in the background. Especially shooting birds, we noticed that if the subject was tiny, the camera did not focus on the subject and it kept hunting for focus, or it focused in the background. One should go through the autofocus menu before they start shooting. Why? Because there are lots of useful options we will find there. We can select a priority whether we want to shoot people or whether we want to shoot an animal. Accordingly, the eye autofocus works as well. This is really helpful in case if you're taking a portrait or in case of wildlife or pet photography. The features are really great and they work well most of the time. The autofocusing technology of this camera is really amazing. We were amazed how accurately and quickly it focused even when the level of light was low. In our usage, What we noticed was when we are using electronic shutter and panning the camera, the effect of rolling shutter is quite prominent even in pictures. Well, it depends on the kind of picture as well. If there are lots of vertical objects in the frame, then definitely the effect will be more pronounced and easily noticeable. We did not find any such issues when using mechanical shutter. Well, with the electronic shutter, the issue is more so because of the high resolution camera that we have here. The file size of the 14-bit uncompressed RAW files can be up to 60 MB. So, we will need lots of storage. Also, processing them is going to be a task. To sum it all up, based on our experiences, this camera is really amazing. The high resolution, the great viewfinder, the fast continuous shooting and amazing autofocusing technology makes this camera really an all-rounder. Whether you should buy this camera or no depends on your use case. If you really need the high resolution, lots of megapixel, then definitely this camera is amazing. If you shoot a lot in controlled lighting, like maybe say fashion, tabletop or any other commercial photography, this camera is going to deliver amazing result. Whereas in case if you are such a photographer who is going to be doing lots of low light shooting, then definitely you should look elsewhere or some other camera. Because of the high megapixel, the ISO performance of this camera is not that great in our opinion, and we have had better cameras even from Canon which perform amazingly well in low light conditions. If you're planning to upgrade to this camera and the features and the performance suits your style, then definitely this is going to be a great camera for you. Here are some of the bytes of different locations where I shot and the pictures from those.